welcome to Black Love Matters, for the service of therapy session for figuring out adulthood.
Loving each other.
I find Ariana, Brock, and Michelle.
Or Jay-Z and Beyonce. Who is you?
I'm Neil.
And that's Nyambi.
And this is episode 436. Y'all.
Hey, I told Neil he should ask Chat GPT. That's their name. G or CPT?
GPT.
GP. What does GPT stand for? Never mind. Neil, I'm about to go digging to write us up a new intro. Listen, y'all, we doing the best we can. And the priority is to show up. We promise we're going to get the other stuff polished.
Or not. Be sure to leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and on Stitcher, and follow us on all forms of social media at Black Love Matters. That's Black.
With no K.
What's going on?
Hey, y'all. It's good to be back. Y'all surprised we back already? I know a couple of y'all was like, damn, it's probably going to be about 2-3 weeks. The real ones knew it was going to be 2 to 4 weeks. But we here, y'all. Don't worry, we got a story. Originally, y'all know we were supposed to be off a couple weeks handling some stuff in Detroit. Guess where we at? Brooklyn. So you know we got some stuff to tell. But this is my chicken. I'll leave that for Near Money. How come y'all ain't tell me about snowfall? Y'all know I'm not the biggest fan of snowfall. And I don't even know why I'm not the biggest fan of snowball. What?
Because you a hater.
Snowfall. The thing is, I only can watch so many black crime drug syndicate shows at once. And BMF is now taking all that capacity. So I don't have time to watch another BMF, so that's why I never got into it. But Niram always got into it. And what we began doing is kind of sharing TV duties and responsibilities. And so that means we try to be in the same room together sometimes. Don't get me wrong. We got multiple TVs in this house, so we'll go on our separate ways and enjoy. But there are times, especially during the week, I would say, right, Niram, where we're not really tied to a certain thing. We just kind of like spending just quiet time together. And so Niram was like, oh, I want to catch up on Snowfall. And I was like, oh, okay. You already know Niram went to sleep. He went in. I don't know how Niram going to sleep 3 minutes into a show. Like literally the credits will come on where it's, what's it called? Time New Roman, Snowfall come across the sleep, and Niram sleep. By the time the title screen come up, Niram snoring. They can be cussing, gunshots, everything. Niram gone. Meanwhile, on the ranch, Nyambi, you don't take much from me. I'm enthralled in the story. So I jumped in on the episode, spoiler alert, when Franklin and his uncle, what's his name? Jerome.
Yes, Jerome. Jerome in the house.
When Franklin and Jerome went at it at that restaurant, Damon Idris, who Denzel say he ain't know. Denzel's wrong. I don't know him. Idris took that on the chin though. He just was like, he Denzel, he don't gotta know me. Anyway, for the folks who don't know what I'm talking about, the actor who played Franklin is Damon.
Damson, baby.
What? Now I'm Denzel. What is his name?
Damson.
His name is Damson. I thought his name was Damon. No, it's not. Don't gas me, Nero. Is it really Damson? Is his last name Idris?
Yes.
Oh.
Like Alba.
Yes. His name's Damson.
Yes.
This is why nobody gonna put me on a red carpet. Could you imagine they had black? Oh, it is an S in there.
Damson Idris. I don't know what the fuck Damon. Who the hell Damon is?
This young man I'm looking at, this spectrum of chocolate, who dated Lori Harvey. Shout out to Lori Harvey. I'm waiting for the book to drop. His name Damson. Yes. Now, no network gonna tell Niram and Nyambi Black Love Matters to be on the black carpet because I'm giving people names I want. They should invite me to be on the Creed carpet. Because I'm gonna stop asking what's his name about masculinity. Why they keep asking him about that?
Because they're trying to.
What's his name? Jonathan Majors. Why they ask that fine? Like, how more masculine can you get? What the fuck are you talking about?
Because they're trying to figure out if he's gay or not.
He's definitely not gay. I think he like white women. Is that what they're trying to troll?
I don't know.
Y'all don't get me. Also, I keep bouncing. I promise I'm going to come back to Snowfall. Did y'all also see that cover of Essence with all them beautiful black men actors on the cover? And then, you know, I curate my timelines, right? And then one of the woke women who keep me in order, the spirit of Bell Hooks came and whispered in our ear. And one of them said, like, of all these beautiful black men on the cover, how many of these black men are dating white women? Then I wept. I went to the wall and wept. I just went to the wall. I went to the wall and wept. None. No, I don't know if one. No. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Google Essence cover. And then one of the woke ones who keep me in, because they were saying pandering to black women is financially beneficial, and that's all them black men do. They pander to black women and like all their roles in their movies, but when they go home at night, they laying with their white queen. And then what did I do, Nero? Let them go. I don't know if that was a real Essence cover or a fake Essence cover, but it was literally all the gorgeous, like, chocolate black men.
Hot chocolate edition?
Yeah, it was like the man edition, basically. And I don't know if it was made up.
I think that shit was made up.
I don't know what it was. But I seen it, and I was just like, no, I don't think Essence did. I think it was a fake one. But it was one of the things where people were like, oh, my God, this is amazing. And then the woke people was like, they told us. And we had to handle that.
Yeah.
Anyway, let me bring it on back. So they ain't going to have me on the red carpet because I don't know nobody. Back to Snowfall. I'm still looking for it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Franklin and his uncle Jerome, when they were going at it, that scenery, that dialogue that they both had was the definition of hurt black men. Them is two hurt black men who really love each other. And in the process of them being hurt, they're going to destroy everyone in their way.
Yep.
And first, let's just talk about the line. First of all, they in the Cracker Barrel, and they having breakfast. And they trying to be calm, cool, and collected and drink their iced coffee.
Not the Cracker Barrel.
They in the Cracker Barrel. Oh, my bad. Oh, sorry. Hold on.
Do phone calls and shit.
Can they hear that?
Oh, unprofessional. Just unprofessional on the podcast.
This is how I know it's bad, because they start whispering loud to each other. You know, when you're in a conversation and you whisper loud. Mm-hmm. I wish we had the scene to pull up. And they whispering loud to each other. And it kept going back and forth of like, why is this continue to going on? I don't know. You tell me why this is going on. Then it takes a turn. And I was like, maybe Uncle Jerome about to be the bigger person, because you see a pause that happens in Uncle Jerome's eyes. Then he was like, I did all I could for you. I came from Mississippi. I worked at them plants. I did all these things. And I just wanted to create something for you and to have, you know what I'm saying? He just going on and on about how I just wanted to be a father figure to you. I just wanted to love upon you. I wanted you to be a carefree black man. He ain't saying that, but that's the way I'm receiving it. And then something goes left. Oh, do you got it?
I don't know. Yeah.
And then.
Oh, yeah, I found it. Let me see. You know.
Do you want to do it?
Keep talking. You know, they have an ad pop up or some shit.
And then when they, is this it?
Yes.
Do I just let this play?
Long now.
Why didn't you get a shorter one?
Nyambi.
Wait, we're going to let them do this. Come on, scooch it up.
I ever tell you about when I first came to LA?
Told you.
I don't know. Couldn't get my mind right back in Texas. Yeah. Place wasn't a fit no more.
Oh, it's Texas, not Mississippi.
Sister's moving to the West Coast. Landed in the Bay.
Uh-huh.
I knew that peace, love, hippie shit wasn't for me.
Oh, shit. Shout out to the back.
LA sounded all right. When I got here, I realized a mistake.
Oh.
I ain't no people here.
Uh-huh.
Nowhere to fit in.
Yeah. That's how I felt, too.
I wasn't going to run back home.
Sure can't go.
Stuck it out. Got a job at the Chrysler plant.
Told y'all.
Went out every night.
Mm-hmm.
Pussy ain't help.
Oh. Tried to sleep it away.
Liquor and drink. Did little. No matter what I threw at it. Uh-huh. Big hole inside me just kept getting bigger.
Oh, need therapy. What happened there?
Then out, then fell off. Oh. Panther shit.
Drinking.
You
hear the back tunes in the background?
Sissy trying to save his ass was trying to raise yours.
Mm-mm.
She was drowning.
Yeah.
So I told her, come out here.
Yeah, come on out here.
Told her I'd set her up. Be whatever she needed to be. She came.
Uh-huh.
Suddenly you was here.
Uh-oh. Suddenly.
Instantly I had love. I had purpose.
Yes.
I was going to be the man to raise you.
Oh.
For the longest time, I thought that
Franklin,
by lifting you up.
Taking too long. Yes, come on.
Watching the young man that you was going to become.
Yes.
That maybe be the greatest thing that ever happened in my life.
Oh, to be a black father.
And now I look at you.
Uh-huh.
And I wonder how'd I fuck up so bad?
It's going left. Now, this is where the scene is going to start going left. So I'm really immersed. Like, man, this black man is laying it out. He's spreading it wide for Franklin. He's like, I was in Texas. I ain't know what to do. I came to the Bay. I ain't like it, but I knew I had to work. I went to that Chrysler plant. I was getting coochie and I tried to sleep it away and cranes in the sky. Yo mama on her bullshit told her to come out here. Come see about you. Then all of a sudden you appear. She Virgin Mary. You Immaculate Conception Jesus. Now you here. But what I got to ask myself is how I fucked up. Now this is where we're going left. Y'all pay attention very closely because at the end of this whole rendition, my mouth was open. I literally threw my shoe at the screen. Go.
Is it my fault that you become a scandalous, cutthroat, bitch made that you are right now?
Jesus.
A scheme.
Franklin
That's
just
how you
stared
see
on
it. That's what the fuck it is, man.
Well, you know, I guess another way of seeing it is everything you have is because of me.
That's Franklin.
Right?
Franklin's on. I
What
made
I got?
you. Jesus.
What I got, nephew? Blood money.
Blood money.
Bodies on me.
Bodies.
Cops and CIA on my ass.
In the Cracker Barrel.
Your mama losing her goddamn mind.
She
He was
is
going
crazy.
nowhere doing nothing.
That's Franklin.
Selling dime bags on a porch, waiting for your bitch to come down from that charm.
I'll crack your motherfucking
I
jaw.
try to give you legacy. Something more than a subwoofer and a weight bench. And if you hadn't let yourself get played by that trick you married, you might have.
Fuck you think you talking to?
Right cheek.
You ever live?
You ain't gonna do shit.
I ain't gonna fucking do
Shit
shit.
the gun out. He pointing at his head in the Cracker Barrel.
Do it.
Do
Tell
it.
him to do it. The gun pointing
Put-
at him.
Kill me
Kill me, nigga.
in this shit right now.
Oh my God.
Do it.
Oh, the gun shaking. Franklin just screamed. They in the Cracker Barrel. And listen to the music. Slipping in the darkness. Come on. It's a white lady holding a cup scared.
Do it.
Do it. The whole walk-off scene. Uncle Jerome almost fell. He was scared. He got dazed and confused eyes. There's a little girl looking. Uncle Jerome sad now. And then they go into slipping into the darkness. Ooh! Snowfall had me hooked. I'm screaming at the television. Near sleep. I said, Daryl, did you see what he said? He said, you scandalous bitch made ass nigga. God damn, if my aunt called me that, I would fall out in the middle of the Cracker Barrel. You wouldn't?
No.
If your uncle came to you and was like, you a scandalous bitch made ass nigga. What?
I've heard worse.
Really? And the business they've been in together?
Yep.
And I knew Franklin was on, you know, they said the millennial pause. He did the Generation X scream. I don't know. That's what because the Generation Z would have shot him, unlived him. Generation Z, y'all don't play. Y'all would have unalived him, then took him, went to walk to jail. I unalived him. It was me. So that scene between Damson Idris and Uncle Jerome, I need to find out his real name. That was something, because it had me leaning in. Do you know what I'm saying? Every line, I was like, what else he about to say?
I swear to God, Uncle Jerome would not be a black Brit either.
Why can't he be a black Brit?
Because the black Brits.
Nerum thinks all the black Brits are taking the shows. It's literally 6 of them. It's not all.
It is all.
Like, what is all Nerum?
Oh, he black.
That's what's his name?
I mean, Joseph.
Yeah, he black. Whoa, he's that young. Uncle Jerome only 42.
Yes.
He playing a solid 55 on that. It's that Jerry Curl that age him.
Yes.
He young. I hang out with him. How does he Damson?
Like 31.
Damson 31.
30, I think.
Come on, Skin. Click his name. Damson look like a baby. You could have told me he was in his 20s.
31.
That's a good 31. I was watching somewhere and there was a white woman was like, I was born in 1987. I said, ooh, that's a hard 35. Okay. So that was good. And then that was 2 episodes ago, I think. And then this last episode, him and his friend, what's the one with the curls?
Leon.
Yeah, his name Leon.
Yes.
Yeah, he always the curly hair, but I don't know what he remind me of, but he remind me of something familiar. Him and his girl, I almost call her Roulette. That's her name on P Valley. She a little more memorable from P Valley, but Roulette and him, they don't went to the motherland, and Roulette like
You talking about Wanda?
Roulette. This is what I'm talking about. Roulette was like, we can't go back home. They gonna kill us, honey. They went to the door of the forgotten. Like they done did the whole like voyage back to Africa. They was in Ghana. Like they did the whole thing. They done been with their people. They done just been immersed. They drinking coconut water. They bathed in shea butter. And I like the point she said was like, I almost forgot home. Like I'm forgetting, not in a negative way, but like I'm forgetting the bullshit, right? Like the shit we fighting for, the drug game, the back and forth, the this riddle me this nigga shit, right? Like, I'm forgetting that here. Not that it's not stuff that's going on in Africa, but they had the ability to completely start over, right? They had the ability to make different choices. And so they coming back and trying to talk to their people because, Uncle Jerome and Franklin is basically just setting shit on fire. Mm-hmm. Like, they treating this like a video game. And they just ta-da-da-da-da-da. No, what's that Instagram? Ta-da-da-da-ta, ta-da-da-da-da. Like, yeah. They just killing everybody. Anybody who moved dying. And it's just destroying the streets, right? And they coming back to be like, we can't do this. Like, we are literally like they done had epiphanies. So they're like, we are literally the colonizers. Mm-hmm. We are colonizing our community with drugs, and we got to stop it. And Franklin and Jerome ain't hearing that. But it was just such a good thing. He bringing back these little wooden statues and Pinocchio and shit, trying to give semblant reasons. But niggas ain't,
Not wooden statues.
What what y'all like to bring back from the mother continent. It's cute. It's like when you go on vacation. It's always cuter on vacation till you bring it home. He be like, what is this?
I'm gonna put this drum. I'm gonna put this drum.
So Snowfall has a new fan in their last season. I'm not going back. I'm gonna just watch from here on out.
No, because
I know what's going on.
It's the fucking final season, and now they want to get good.
It was very good.
It fucking pissed me off last year.
Last year was it bad?
Yes.
Oh well, this one's good.
Tiger and shit.
A tiger?
Yeah, they had like a CGI tiger.
Like on Walking Dead?
Yes.
Oh no,
motherfucking tiger.
Well, I can't vouch for that. I can vouch for this episode 3 and 4. So that was good. Next, what's going on with me personally? Look, that's a shift. Let me put this in better order. I'm working with a lawyer for my IUD incident. I think it's just time, y'all. So I'm looking at interviewing multiple lawyers to then sign on as a client. And I'll let y'all know how that saga goes. So far, I've talked to like 2 or 3 of them. All 3 are interested in taking me on as a client. And it's just a lot. So keep me in your thoughts and prayers. Still no updates from the doctor. Still like doing some vetting around. I'm trying to do a whole overhaul for my whole primary care team. I'm going to start hopefully in the next couple weeks talking to a fertility specialist because, with this thing I'm going through, like the surgery is exploratory. So I'm at the point where I'm trying to choose, am I going the exploratory surgery route and getting this removed from my body, or am I family planning is going to take priority and then I'll come back to surgery and removal? I also asked my doctor, was there a way to balance it where, how do I say this, where maybe I take family planning as a priority and then, when and if the baby is due, I could do like a planned C-section. Like, what I'm saying? Like trying to have multiple surgeries at once, that type of thing. So I'm just looking at my options so I can just take a little bit more control of the timeline, what I want, what I don't want, and that type of stuff. It's a little hard, but I'm trying to take one step at a time, take the next logical step. I can see it seeping into like me emotionally. As y'all know, I'm new to the anxious game. I never was really an anxious girl till lately, the last couple of years, but depression has been something I've always navigated through, and I can feel I know the triggers, right? Like I think some of the stuff I'm going through is triggering me into that. And the way I can trigger before I get to the point where I'm sad, like hard for me to get out the bed, not really engaging, my areas become very messy and cluttered. And yeah.
Oh, tell us more.
No, that's all y'all need to know. You ain't got to be. I'm getting naked. I'm getting vulnerable and naked without getting. What is it? I'm getting vulnerable without getting naked. I'm leaving my panty and bra off. But just say, like, I can look around and be like, oh, something's coming. Shout out to the people with mild depression. You be like, fuck, is that fucker cloud? Like, you can feel that motherfucker coming. It's like a trap. Like, you be like, damn, I see that motherfucker coming around the corner. It's like a storm or like thunder. You're like, oh, you know, you hit thunderclap. And he's like, you can count the seconds in between based on like the lightning to the thunderclap. And you know how far the storm is. That's how depression be with me. Where I heard the lightning and I'm like counting the seconds to the thunderclap. And I'm like, oh, that motherfucker is down the road. And they are trying to play with me. So I'm trying to set myself up for success. Not if, when it comes, because it's coming, that I can at least be able to quickly navigate and get myself out of it. So send me good vibes. Also, if anybody out there with the mild depression have coping skills, please let me know. Taking suggestions. Work is somewhere else I need to, I don't know if step my game up is the right word, but I need to make a decision on what route I want to take. I think I'm at a fork in the road with my career that I need to be intentional if I want to go like director level, C-suite, or if I want to go like high ranking, or my job call them IC, so individual contributor, meaning I'm not people managing or managing teams, right? I'm responsible for delivering a piece of work to the business. So think program manager, product manager, analyst, something like that, or if I want to oversee these teams. So I'm at this point where I just need to make that decision. And in part of that decision, I'm trying to figure out what game I want to play, right? Because, being a high level IC, you can still make great money, but there is a roof, there is a ceiling, and a very clear ceiling to what that could be and what it could look like. But at director level, you get a little bit more coins. But with those games, with director level games in tech, leading the C-suite, right? So executive suite, play silly games, win silly prizes. And there's a level of suspension of disbelief or reality that you have to do. I think, again, this is just Nyambi thoughts, to be at the director level or C-suite level of major companies, you have to suspend reality. And I'm trying to determine how much reality I'm trying to suspend. Does that make sense, Nero? I'm like,
yes.
Because it's bullshit, right? It's going to be bullshit, but am I willing to take some of the bullshit, one, for the outcome I can have for my family, but two, for the micro activism that I can do within? Now, am I going to be able to change all the shit? Like, I think that's bullshit. Be like, you got to change the central from inside. Nah, I don't know if you can change everything. But by me being at the table, am I going to be able to influence some policy, influence some people, move some money where it needs to be? Yes, right? Like, I'm able to do micro activism points. But I haven't decided. What were you going to say, Nero?
Yeah, it's like being the president of the United States.
Don't do that to Joe.
You really ain't got no power.
You don't. You just...
It's a symbol.
It's symbol.
It's a symbol. And I think
unless you're the CEO and running it. Or on these boards, though. Yeah. Believe it or not, these boards have a lot of power.
Yeah, board members have power. But when you C-level, mid-level C-level...
You just meeting the needs of your board.
You're a mid
stakeholders.
SVP, like, you just...
Stakeholders.
Not even it's stakeholder. It's just more or less you helping the shit roll downhill. So you go get you at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
And the shit come to you.
Yeah.
And he be like, all right, fuck. How do I spread this shit out?
Yeah.
And he be like, all right, you go down to your team and you be like, this is how we gonna spread the shit out.
Yeah.
Or it's like, well, we got this shit and we need to spread it out.
Yeah.
What idea y'all got?
Yeah.
All right, let me go report back. Hey, y'all, this is how we going to spread the shit. What y'all think?
Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Go spread the shit. And then you go collect all the numbers to say, all right, boss, this is how much shit we spread.
Spread it, and this is the impact of it.
And this is the impact of that shit.
Yeah. But that's a life. That is a life. Also, I think as you get higher up in directorship and C-suite, you get further and further removed. But when I mean reality, meaning out of touch. Mm-hmm. Like, it's some C-suite people, I'm like, y'all don't know what day it is, huh? Do you even know it's Monday? Or is everything just an evolving Wednesday for you? So I need to figure that out. And also what skills I want to build. If I want to build it, how do I want to, and more importantly, how do I want to curate my life? So what do I want my 5 to 9 to be? What do I want my autonomy to look like? What do I want? What do I truly want my life to look like? And which one of these jobs will help me fulfill it the best? Is what I'm trying to navigate. Because the blessing and the curse of being in tech and the type of tech I'm in, the position I'm in now, any other field would be equivalent to a director level, right? And if I go up to be director level in tech, my move outside of tech is going to be VP or higher. But for me, as a Black woman, just as a woman in tech, in the non-technical side of the house, it's harder for me to get promoted to that director level in-house than out-house. Mm-hmm. So if I want to be a director or somewhere higher than that, I'm going to have to leave my company and go somewhere else. And then if I want to get back into tech, pivot back in. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a little bit more maneuvering than I don't know if I want to do or not.
Gotcha.
And also skills, right? Like, I would say a moderate skill set when it comes to data and data analysis, but I think I need to sharpen it. And
sound like you need to go get a Stanford MBA.
I seen something on Instagram. They said Black women, when we get bored, we go get degrees. Yep. I'm thinking more of a certificate because I'm already in. What's the purpose of the degree? Clout?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. If I go back to get another degree, I'm going to get a PhD, though. Honestly, let's not go that route. I think you already know. Like, I was ABD before, and I was, like, all gone. So, like, grad school and that is a very sensitive topic. One day I'll talk to y'all about that. Also, shut up. Higher ed ain't what it used to be either.
Oh, no.
Like, higher ed, 10-year jobs.
Well, no.
Listen.
That, like, what was that position? We just seen in the news talking about some corporations are not even requiring college degrees. Degrees are important. I don't want it to come off like I'm hating. It's important, but there's ways to finesse, though. Where before it wasn't no finesse. But now I think a lot of these high-profile companies are creating camps and internship programs and apprenticeship programs that we basically grooming the people out of undergrad. Yeah, sure. I would say out of high school.
High school. Oh, yeah, that's true. High school, undergrad. And these companies are basically putting them through their own curriculum. Yeah. I think that is absolutely the future for big tech. I think it's the future for finance. I think it's the future for a lot of these major corporations. They're not necessarily going to be recruiting in those areas, but they're going to be creating their own pipeline through their own education curriculum system and getting them kind of groomed up through it. And I think the pull is we pay you, so you're not going to get any debt. Like, but also on the flip side, I think Joe Biden about to release this student loan debt. Like, I don't know if student loan debt about to be a thing for the next 10 years. Like, I think that might be the thing Joe step out on to get him reelected. Because everybody's like, Uncle Joe, I don't know, you're getting too old. But I think Joe going to go ahead and wipe this student debt, and Joe going to be in that White House again. He wiped that student debt free. Everybody going to be lined up to vote for him. So it might flip, right? And that might help universities, because I hope in addition to wiping student debt, they need to think of the whole framework of higher education institutions in this financial profit, nonprofit state. Like, that is going to have to be completely rethought. And that's more impacting the state schools and mid-tier state schools, not necessarily some of the research ones, right? Like, because the research ones, public Ivies and Ivies, they got enough through their, whatchamacallit. I almost said their building fund. What's it called?
Endowments.
Their endowments that they kind of can afford to do however they need to do it, right? And or people can afford to go there just out their pocket. But the state schools, high profile state schools, land grants, like, them the ones gonna be hurting, because them the ones who get all them fucking loans and shit from us. Mm-hmm. And like, those are the institutions where they're gonna have to figure out some type of new model. But we'll see. I don't know.
I do know. I think it's just very interesting, right? I think with COVID, a lot of people have learned a lot of new skills and traits on their own.
Yeah.
Via MOOCs, via University of YouTube.
Shout out to YouTube. Coursera,
mm-hmm. Just whatever, right? That I think that a lot of corporations now values the self-taught versus somebody who went and had it formally trained in academia. Because what they're learning is that the self-taught people are a lot more grittier, and they have a lot more real-world experiences, or are able to think out able to think out the box versus somebody who has
been taught to memorize,
formally trained in academia and hasn't took or used any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Other than like theoreticals. So I think like that is something, right? Like when you're looking at somebody, and yes, I'm talking about NBA, but it's like, hey, I don't have a degree in computer science, but I built this app.
Yeah.
Or I built multiple apps, or I built X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Without it.
Yeah.
And like how much more that
do you need to prove yourself? Yeah.
Versus being like, oh, I got this degree in CS.
And don't get me wrong, I don't think it's disappearing in 5 years or something, but I think it's going to evolve, and it is evolving to something different.
Yeah. And I'm going to say it's disappearing, but I think for high-level jobs, it's going to be a thing where they're going to look for more self-taught people than people who came straight from Wisconsin.
It's something to that, right? Because I think of some of, not my direct reports, but the people who report into my direct reports. They're brilliant, right? But they have these pedigrees, and they are having trouble now. Like, they're having trouble because, as y'all know, some of my team has been laid off, and they got like a lot of notice, but they're having trouble pivoting and understanding their transferable skills and how to apply it in other places. And I'm even having trouble coaching them on that, to say like, I'm sorry, I don't understand how you don't think having, stakeholder management, project management, the ability to scale, operationalize, problem solve, work with a variety of stakeholders. How is that not transfer?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. Like, it is a little bit more difficult compared to the folks who've either had previous roles before or has a little bit more of a non-traditional education. The folks with non-traditional education, they basically was like, say less.
Mm-hmm.
But the folks who had a very traditional timeline are having trouble, I will say. Anywho, so that's what I'm thinking about. Next, a closet purge is coming. I need to redefine my style. And what better place to do it than where? New York. I say, concrete jungle. Whenever I get sad or never go over a bridge, that's what I sing. The Alicia Keys. New York, concrete jungle. So I'm just feeling it, right? Like, it could be that my clothes are ill-fitting. It could be that they're out of style. I don't know. But whatever it is, throw them out. And before, I don't know if y'all know, like, I would keep certain things. Like, some of it, like, I didn't even care if it's not in style. I just enjoyed the piece of clothing, so I'm fucking wearing it. But now I'm like, it is trash. Angela Bassett on fire. So I'm in the process of that. Like, really redefining, getting crisp, getting clean on like what that means and what it looks like. And I'm hoping to pick up some really cute, not only basic pieces, but also signature pieces. Again, there's just, New York is always going to New York, but it's something about New York in the pieces that you can find, being surrounded by fashion, be it on Fifth Ave, Soho, hell, walking down the streets of Brooklyn, right? Like, it is a fashion show. And I don't know, it has inspired me to step my game up a little bit. So I'm excited about it. So I'm going to go on that journey. I'll let y'all know how it goes. Like, I'm not at the point where like I'm going to think I'm going to hire a stylist or anything. Well, that sounds like good Patreon content. Nero's been trying to convince me to do like a $5 a month. Y'all pay $5 a month to hear us. I feel like $5 a month. You might can see me. Wouldn't that be nice to like go on an adventure with me? Nero was saying, and people actually emailed this. They was like, Nayabi, we'll go shopping with you. People want to know more about my sister lots, like all these things. And I was like, wait, I'm definitely like, I'm not an influencer, y'all. Like, I would be the worst one ever. This shit don't work. I don't think I lie good enough to be an influencer. Shout out to the influencers. Shady.
Yes.
So also, if y'all have any women who you really just admire their style, a particular age, honey, I ain't trying to be like the children. If they ain't at least 35, don't even send them my way if they ain't at least 35. Next, they're also thinking about dabbling in the house buying market. We think we're going to scale back on what we originally were thinking. But stay tuned on that. Also, good Patreon content. Thinking about that. We'll keep y'all in the loop as we go through it, because I think East Coast house buying is I think that's the biggest thing, y'all, because we're on the borderline of Michigan or East Coast. I think we're landing East Coast. So like buying a home on the East Coast just always feels so different. And then lastly, Niram and I had a cute little date night, didn't we, Niram? Mm-hmm. We went to the Brooklyn Museum and we grabbed some dinner and it was nice. And actually Niram got me up because he seen the cloud coming and was like, get your ass up.
That's getting irritating.
Oh.
What?
Excuse me?
I ain't saying nothing.
What happened?
I was checking the time.
We need to have an episode on it. How do you navigate when your significant other has a depressive episode? Because I think I'll get a little more depressed than you do. Sometimes you get in your moods, but you only last like 3 hours. I'm like a solid week. A solid 7 days, honey. Mm-hmm. But Niram, and I brought it up like Friday, like, oh, it'd be nice to go to the museum and go pooch around. Like, Mugler has his whatchamacallit at the Brooklyn Museum. Like, I love the perfume. I love his look, right? Like, I love the edginess of Mugler and just him. I don't need to go in detail, but like, let's do it. But by Sunday, I was like, I'm about to watch this Netflix.
Sunday Scaries.
Watch this Netflix, drink water, and that's all I'm going to do. But Niram got me up and said not on his watch. And so I'm so grateful for him. And then we went and grabbed dinner. And the dinner was really, really good. Oh, actually, before we went to dinner, y'all, I said, we have memberships to the Brooklyn Museum. So we didn't want to go see everything. So we just seen kind of Mugler's area. And then I was like, oh, I haven't seen like the ancient Egyptian area yet. I want to go there. And so we took a little break. And then I was like, all right, let's go to Ancient Egyptian Museum. Y'all, soon as I crossed that, what's it called? Foyer. I said, oh, I'm not going in that room.
That was scary. Yeah.
And there was like, what? Y'all, I felt like the ancestors was talking to me. I didn't know they had the real sarcophagus and the tombs up in there.
Yes.
I thought they was going to have pictures and little drums like we was talking about from Africa and little hair pieces. Mm-mm. They got the sarcophagus.
Yes.
They got at least 5 or 6 sarcophaguses in there, and I ain't like it. My spirit did not like it. The ancestors did not like it. They had pictures of them Egyptians looking like they got sister lots, looking like me. They got their nose blown off. I ain't like, they got their heads chopped off. I ain't like it. Am I the only one who feel uncomfortable? I said, I ain't going in this room.
Why not?
You know what I'm saying? Come on. I said, oh, no. I said, the ancestor said no.
You wanted to see it.
Yes, I thought it was just going to be hieroglyphics. And then they had this long script of the shit they found.
The Book of the Dead.
I said, I'm not reading this shit. What is this? I said, white people just steal. God damn. And I said, I need to go do more digging. Like, I always knew that from the Sphinx, right, they always shoot the noses off. I said, but why is the nose gone in every picture I look at?
Because it was a nigga nose.
Why is they head? They definitely black. Why is the heads chopped off? Why they had little pieces of extensions and they look like the Wet and Wavies braids? It was just a lot. Mm-hmm. And Niram thought I was being dramatic. But as soon as I stepped in there, I said, oh, this is not your home. You know, the ancestors be like, this ain't your home. Uh-huh. And I was like, don't touch nothing near them. Don't read nothing. One of them rooms, I was like, oh, this is too much. Like, as soon as you walked in, they like broke the sarcophagus into levels. I said, like, this is like a funeral home. I don't want to be in here. I don't want to be in here. And them white kids was loving it. They bet they face against the glass. I said, shit, I'm scared. They raised me scared. The ancestors is plotting something because I was nervous. You weren't nervous, Niram?
No, because if they come out and they come out, I'm gonna say, look at me.
If they come out,
look at me and look at them.
When
I'm not the problem. I look like you. I didn't do this to you.
I didn't do it to you, beloved.
I didn't do it. They did it.
Listen,
I'll help you.
Listen, are you kidding?
No,
I was nervous.
Listen here.
It ain't sit right with me, y'all.
My daddy once told me that it's not the dead people you need to
be scared of. It's the living.
It's the living.
I mean, but what about the Egyptians?
Not afraid of them either.
Okay.
All right. I guess it's my turn, huh?
It's your turn.
So the reason why we are reporting this podcast and I'm not in Detroit is because my mom's surgery got rescheduled. Mm-hmm. And it just fucked up my whole energy. So, first we were supposed to drive. Mm-hmm. So we supposed to drive to Detroit. But, Nyambi in her depressive mood. And she's like, I don't think I'm going.
No, the storm was coming.
I'm going.
A storm was coming.
She used to a stormer's excuse. But she's like,
Ooh.
I don't think I'm coming. And the thing about Nyambi that y'all don't know is that Nyambi is great.
Not that y'all don't know.
At like prefacing like her answer and like the thing that she want to happen. And then like she tries to implant that idea and then like keep going and going and going almost so it's like your idea. And I don't play.
I'm a great influencer.
I don't play. I know. I see it a mile. I see it miles away. So now I'm just like, yeah, I think there might be a storm. No, first it
was a storm.
No. First it was like, just a little tired and, Detroit. I don't think I'm going to come. And I was like, oh, okay, well, let me know more about that. Like, why you think? I was like, well, family and, I might be going back anyway. And, this is your mom's trip. Like, I think I'm just going to stay home back. But I'll let you know. I said, okay. And then here comes Nyambi less than a day later. You booked that flight yet? I said, book a flight? I thought we was driving. No, there's a storm coming there. I think you should book that flight. I think you need to go ahead and book that flight and go ahead and get to Detroit. I thought we was driving. I thought you want to go. No, it's a storm. So that's how she tried to get me. I seen it coming.
First of all, I didn't try to get you.
I seen it coming.
The storm is valid. People who live in Detroit
be trying to do that shit. She be trying to do it at work. It might work on white folks, but it don't work on me.
Very much.
I see it and I be like, this is some bullshit. I just be like, whatever. You could have just said what you want. You could have just said it. But Nyambi be trying to make it like it's her idea. So
like it's your idea?
Yeah, like it's my idea. That shit don't work. It's your idea. So
Near just like people to make it plain.
Yes.
Just lay it low and spread it wide.
Make it plain. Yes. Why are we doing this strategy shit?
It ain't strategy.
It is strategy. That's work strategy shit. You done brought work to home.
I know you lying about bringing work to home.
Work strategy to home. And tried to use it on me. You tried to put that white people shit on me. And that shit didn't work.
I'm getting real bold.
That shit did not work.
We're going to see a therapist soon.
So then, later that day, that was on a Tuesday. Wednesday come. I get a late night phone call. Bring, bring.
Be in bed late night.
Actually, it's a FaceTime between my sister and my mama.
Yeah.
Bring, bring.
Both of them.
I'm trying to play sleep.
Yeah. Ooh, Near's a good actor.
Oh.
I thought he was.
Near, you sleep. Yeah, just resting. Well, I got something I got to tell you.
What is it?
What's going on?
What day is it?
Well, my sinus is acting up.
Uh-oh.
And I don't know if they're going to do my surgery.
And what Near say?
What's going on? I said, they're going to stop your surgery because you got a stopped up nose? You don't take no damn Claritin. My sister, I think she don't need to be going under. See, her sinuses acting up. Her sinuses swollen. They ain't putting her to sleep. Mm-hmm. I'm like, if she got a stuffy nose, they gonna put her ass to sleep. Don't you want this? Don't you want this surgery? Mm-hmm. And then here comes Nyambi. I don't think they gonna do it.
Yeah.
I said, okay. Well, instead of us just going back and forth, how about you call the doctor? And let the doctor know what's going on. Let them know you got some sinus issues, like your sinuses acting up, they swollen, whatever.
Yeah.
So she called on what was it, Wednesday. Thursday, I'm getting a haircut. So today I was supposed to go and get on this plane. So luckily my flight didn't leave until 4:00. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna run a little errands. I'm gonna go get a haircut. Pick up my prescriptions. Just do all the things. Mm-hmm. And then I get another phone call. I'm in a barber chair. Another FaceTime with my mother
with everybody
and my sister. I said, decline. I said, I'm in the chair.
Did you say decline?
Decline. I'm in the chair. And then it went from a FaceTime to a phone call. Ooh. I said, fuck.
You know what that means.
It means, hello? Yeah. I got some bad news. Ooh. What? they done canceled my surgery. I called them. I said, what happened? I called them and I told them I had some sinus issues. My nose is stopped up. And I keep sneezing.
And they said, don't come.
And then she called 2 doctors. And they said, no surgery for me. Ooh. Me.
Me. Duh, I signed it with your sister.
I said, that's some bullshit. I said, okay, well, I'm still in this hair, and I'm still getting this haircut. So I go ahead and get the haircut. And then I call Naomi's and say, they didn't cancel my flight. Her, come on back to me. Meanwhile.
Hold on, you canceled your flight? Or they canceled it? Who canceled it?
I canceled my flight.
Okay, yeah.
Come on back to me. But way before that, Naomi's like, oh, I can't wait till y'all motherfuckers gone. Take Mabel, get the fuck up out of here. I'm going to be here sad, depressing shit by myself. And I'm going to come back.
By the time y'all come back, I'll be a new bitch. I'm going
to come back Phoenix Rising in this motherfucker.
Yes.
Didn't happen.
So,
yeah, we don't know when the next surgery is going to be. My mom got to go get some doctor's appointments and things of that sort. The thing is, like, I got a book coming out. And I don't know how many times I got to tell people. I don't care. March.
You're such a baby of the family.
It's March, April, May, June. I got a book coming out.
Yeah.
I got plans. I got plans to be on Today's Show. I got plans to be on Good Morning America.
Ooh, look at the Lord.
I got plans to be on Breakfast Club. I don't know. I just got plans.
To be on Yanla.
Whoever. Oprah. Reese.
What show Oprah got?
Look, don't she still got a podcast or some
shit? You just making up shit. That don't got nothing to do with this.
Oprah might want to interview me. Reese Witherspoon.
They'll have it.
Reese Witherspoon. I'll be out there trying to get on that white woman's radar.
Listen, it'll work out.
NPR.
It will work out.
I still got to record the audio book.
It will work out.
And then here comes y'all motherfuckers.
Do.
Talking about, we got to push this to May. Fuck y'all is.
They ain't say May. They literally said the end of the month.
So go ahead and fuck around. Y'all gonna fuck around and y'all gonna have to deal with that surgery by yourself?
No, they ain't.
Yeah, they are. Because I got a book to record. I got interviews, podcast interviews. I'm out here pitching. I'm out here pitching book tour dates. Any of y'all want to buy 100 books?
Jesus.
Any of y'all listeners want to buy 100 books?
No.
At $18 a pop?
No.
Let's make it work.
No.
I come speak at your job.
Jesus.
Any of y'all job looking for a dynamic speaker?
Please.
To talk about health?
Come on there.
Hey, I'm pitching, Nyambi.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's my podcast, too.
You're right.
Shit.
You're right.
Let me pitch.
Go ahead.
Y'all want to buy 100 books? Holler at your boy. BlackLoveMatters@gmail.com. Black when okay. So, yeah. So, now I got to deal with Nyambi ass and her fucking feelings and her emotions. Because she's supposed to be home depressing, but who here? And then she's like, well, we can go to then here comes Nyambi. I come back home. She planned the whole weekend. We going to do this and we going to do this. You think any of that happened? Hell no. And then I came up and I said, I thought we was going to the museum. I done already bought these damn tickets. Isn't it booked? Isn't it closed? I'm saying, no. Get your ass up. Go to the museum. Go see some shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Other than that, we seen Chris Rock special. Selective Outrage.
Shout out to Chris Rock.
It was all right.
It was okay.
It was just okay. I guess everybody's just waiting to hear what he was going to say about Will Smith.
But then we kind of know.
Everybody was here.
We assumed.
To wait to see what he's going to say about Will Smith.
I think I don't appreciate how he blamed all that on Jada, though. Like, my take point was Will was so mad at Jada, couldn't control his own feelings, and he just took it out on him because there was nothing else to do because he had no control. I don't know if I like that narrative, but like I see where I know he only had 8 minutes to land a joke, so I understand you got to convince him.
And then he botched the joke.
He did botch it. I bet he was mad. Because you see, I kind of fucked him up. He's like, I meant to pay concussion. I got the concussion. Wait, what's the movie called? That was the ancestor scene. Yeah. Get it all together. I was more enthralled with his daughter Lola biting people. And when he was like, he took his family away, or what did he say? So they didn't have to live a hood life or something like that. And then he was like, then Lola started biting. I was like, that's why, honey. Because the hood would have auto-corrected that. You don't need no parent intervention. Because you only going to keep biting Keisha and Terrell and them kids.
Let them bite somebody.
Yeah.
Exactly. Y'all play around with Mabel too hard, guess what happened?
Mabel discipline you.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting. I mean, it was good. And also, I mean, I could zoom out and say, honestly, Chris Rock and Will, them rich people problems, I hope eventually they hash this out and figure where it got to go. It did sit right with me that it's all blamed on Jada. Like, she just this dope fiend, master manipulator, and Will Smith don't got no, like.
Maybe she is.
There you go. Like, that was something weird. But what I can step back and say, this is the first live comedy special on Netflix. How much he grossed?
I don't know.
70-something millions, 50 million, whatever the millions. Like, he made so many millions off of telling his story and doing the way he did. Like, he had all these comedians there honoring him, right? Like, he got his flowers, right? Like, I can't hate on that. So I do respect that. But y'all know I got a love-hate relationship with Chris Rock. Like, Chris Rock, I think he's a brilliant comedian, all that good stuff. But sometimes his alignment with whiteness throws me off a little bit.
Yeah, I was trying to find this meme.
And I can't put my finger on it. And I'm not saying he's anti-black or anything like that. But
he is the black friend that white people love.
Yeah. And sometimes I just don't relate. But the thing is, everything ain't meant for me to relate to. So, there's so many other comedians that, cool. And don't get me wrong, whenever Chris Rock comes out with something, I watch it. I'm there. But he's never the one where I'm like, oh yeah, this Chris Rock about to be the shit. Like, I'm like, oh, well, let me see what Chris Rock got to say. And usually like this half, about 40% of it is cool, and then the 60% not for me. So like, it's just very similar to his delivery for me.
And then, I just don't like. And then they said cow. And then they said cow. I said, nigga, why you keep repeating? Like, he's type of comedian, like, repeat the same joke or like repeat the same punchline like 4 times.
Yeah.
It's like,
so like, that's what it is. Like, I'm saying I'm not as tied to this him stuff. Like, I don't got much opinion about it. Like, they need to hash it out or not, right? Like, I think they both also could live a great life and never talk to each other again too. But just him as a comedian, he has reached a lot of goals. Honestly, even like, cause he did like an after show and a pre-show and all that type of stuff. Even the people he had like honoring him. Like, it was like an after show with David Spade and Dana Carvey. Mm-hmm. What the fuck? I thought they was the same person, first of all. I thought the white men, and again, I know they're iconic, right, comedians, right? Like, he always like aligned himself with like the Jerry Seinfeld, like that. Again, I know they're iconic, but it's just those comedians I know aren't for me, right? They don't make their funny for me, right? Like, their stories aren't for me. Right. So like, that's why it's just hard for me to connect. The closest he got was they had Leslie on there, and Leslie. Then they had Yvonne Orji on there, which is surprising. She actually only said about 3 words, so maybe not surprising. Like, and then they had Arsenio, Arsenio's a great MC. Like, can he just host things?
Very.
He can kind of transition and just do that very well. Like, the Oscars and them need to actually hire, like, I know they get celebrities and comedians to do it, but you need people who can host. Mm-hmm. And Arsenio is a fluid host.
He is.
I feel like he just guides me along on the journey, and it's never chaotic. Even when like people tap him in to say stuff, like I think they had him do the intro, and it didn't look like that was too planned, but the way he did it was just seamless. Shout out to Arsenio Hall. And then they got that man who talked with that lisp.
Which one?
That with the Hennessy commercial and Halle Berry.
Oh,
yeah.
I can't even think of his
name.
Him.
I mean, it was good. I recommend. Would I watch it? Oh, that's him.
Is that J.B. Spoon?
I get him confused with, what's the tall basketball player? Singleton?
John Sally?
Yeah. Don't they feel like they cousins?
It's your living in vain.
If I see him, I'm like, that's John Sally. Did he play for the Pistons? Then he get to talking. I'm like, oh no, that ain't him.
So
John Sally don't talk like that.
So, the way that Chris Rock just aligns with white people.
Yeah, he has an alignment or adjacent. Maybe not alignment. Alignment is even probably too strong of a word. He's just always adjacent to white people, just enough to make me side eye, but not enough to be like, nah, nigga, you ain't. Not enough to be like, nigga, you the ops, but just enough for me to double take. I think Marlon Wayans did it good on his stand-up. I mean, honestly, his stand-up was a little bit too much about the slap for me. But the way he was describing some of the situations, I'd be like, yeah, me too, Marlon. Me too, Marlon.
What'd he say?
And he said it in a respectful, you got to go watch him. Go give him a watch. Marlon Wayans has a new, is it on Netflix too? Or HBO? Showtime. I don't know where it's at. Marlon Wayans has a new special.
Yeah.
and he's also grown on me. He's such a physical comic too that I gotta, he another one. I gotta keep at arm's length. But I enjoy Marlon Wayans, and he talked about the slap. We talking like it's a show, honey. And just the way in which he was discussing interactions, I felt him. And I think that's what we're even trying to unpack. And I don't know Chris Rock, right? I only know the Chris Rock he presents to the world. And that's what, it just gives me very white adjacent.
Yeah.
And that's not me.
Yeah.
So I never could truly stand. And I know some of y'all love it, right? In a different way than Dave Chappelle, though, right? Because I also think Dave Chappelle is also white adjacent. But it just shows up differently to me.
Yeah.
Well, watch it. Well, let me know what y'all think. Did y'all love it? I know it's some people in my family who loved it, who was like, this is the best comedy special that ever has been done, like all the things.
What?
You don't think what's the best? What's your funniest comedy special you ever seen?
Eddie Murphy Raw.
Really? I think mine is the Bernie Mac on Def Comedy Jam.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
When he's like in the spray pant jeans? Oh.
You talking about I ain't scared of you, motherfucker?
Oh my God, you're talking about hollering.
I ain't scared of you.
Talking about hollering. I think that's the funniest special that literally had tears in my eyes. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I'm a Bernie Mac stan. I don't think Bernie Mac has ever did a stand-up that I have not cried tears.
Yeah. Truthfully, I watch Kings of Comedy just to watch Bernie Mac's.
It's a masterclass, right?
It is.
It is absolutely a masterclass. Yeah, I agree. So like that is my level of comedy and funny. Like that is what I'm talking about. And also what I mean good, know that when I watch like some of the old school Bernie Mac stuff, the stuff that I'm crying. Like it's not just like, oh, huh. Like that's what I did for Chris Rock. I was like, oh yeah, that's true. Bernie Mac, I can't breathe. Like yes. I am like tears are running down my cheek.
Yes.
That's what I define as a comedy. But yeah, Chris, I laughed at. I snickered.
Yeah, there's a few things.
Yeah.
Like, ha, 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 he.
It was something actually he said that I was like, he right. I think he was talking about the neighborhoods. And he's like, you could tell about the type of neighborhoods who don't work. He said, so if you go to neighborhood around noon and stuff and the women ain't working, they wearing jogging pants, they got the dogs pushing the store, that's a good ass neighborhood. And it don't matter, black, white, cool. He said, now you go to a neighborhood around noon Wednesday and there's a bunch of grown ass men just outside sitting on the porch lifting weights and shit. That's a bad neighbor. I said, you got that fucking right. Because a couple blocks from here, I seen it. I went around the block. I said, this nigga about to lift weights in the middle. I almost told you the street. The sidewalk on a Wednesday.
On MLK.
He don't got nothing else to do. I said, oh no. And it wasn't in his yard. Like it was on the sidewalk. I was like, so you about to block the public ass sidewalk so nobody can walk past your house.
To get it in.
But on the flip side, women can go jogging and Pilates and out, like, nothing to that. But to see the men just sitting there, I said, oh, hell no. Or too many of y'all gangled up on that little ass stoop. Why y'all be sitting on these little stoops like this?
Because there ain't nowhere else to sit.
In a way. Even yesterday, we was walking back from that dessert spot. I said, why y'all in the middle of this? Y'all got no house to go in.
Ain't nowhere to sit. They don't
blocking the driveway.
They don't have space for...
Like gathering.
Yes.
Oh.
No, they don't have space for
like fellowship, community.
Not even fellowship. What I was going to say, front porch furniture.
Yes, because in Detroit, like all this still happens, but you don't notice it because people sitting on front porches or the front yard, or better yet, the backyard. Like it be like folks in Detroit have their whole garage decked out with like refrigerators, stoves, TVs, places to sit, like. It's an entertainment area.
But out in New York, like most of these places, like
you don't have that.
Either that, or you can't. You don't have access to the backyard.
Oh, that's true.
So I think about our apartment. We have zero access to the backyard.
That's true.
Don't even know how to get there.
Don't want to. Not going back there.
So that's what I'm saying is that most of these places don't even have access to the backyard. So where else are they supposed to do it?
Yeah. I'm not hating on them, but Chris Rock was right. Something back in my head said, "Watch yourself, beloved." What? But he had like a couple of them where I was like, he ain't lying. When we were talking about, I hope he got permission from his daughter. He was getting in Lola's ass. Sure he was getting in Lola. He gonna end. Now she great and she do cooking. I said, clean it up because Lola was getting on his nerves, honey. I can only imagine a real story.
Lola ass was biting people.
Lola was giving him and his wife a run for their fucking money. You hear me?
Sure was.
All right, Miriam, what else you got closing us on now?
That's up. You got this kitchen table talk. Once you go ahead and read it, let them know what they say.
So it says, hey, Miriam and Nyambi, I love y'all so much. You are the cousins I wish I had. I have a cubicle warrior question. I'm a new leader. I'm getting used to the position. One issue I'm running into is engagement during team meetings, particularly during the ideation phase of the meeting. It's hard to get people to share viewpoints. Any advice is appreciated. Thanks. Nirams, you got something before I jump in?
I'm not a cubicle warrior.
Don't you run a team and have to get meetings?
Oh, my team.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think this is a cubicle warrior question. I think this is anyone who run meetings.
It is required for your ass to come in here with some ideas. So put it on your schedule to brainstorm some shit. But you're going to come here and you're going to at least provide at least 5 ideas, good or bad. And if not, we're going to do an exercise right then and here.
Okay.
We're going to pull out the whiteboard on Zoom, the whiteboard feature, and get access to everybody. Let's go ahead. Let's ideate right now. All right. I'll wait. What y'all got to go on the whiteboard?
So that's your suggestion?
Yes. Either that or you can do like one of those silent meeting joints where you get everybody get on the Zoom and you open up a doc. Everybody turn off their camera and they sound, and you go away for 10 minutes and you let people brainstorm that doc.
Yeah.
So that way they ain't got to talk to nobody. True. But goddamn it, somebody better put something on that paper.
So Niram's suggestion is letting them know ahead of time the expectation or silent meetings.
Yes.
Silent meetings do work though, because sometimes you just don't have the energy, right, to engage or anything. So I think my head from a cubicle warrior. So I think there's 2 things here. We can, and Niram, I appreciate your thoughts too. I think that's symptom treating, right? Like, so I think it's 2 things. You need to do both, right? Like, I think you need to get to root cause and you also need to do symptom treating, right? Because I think root cause might take a little bit longer than to alleviate the symptoms, right? So I think some of the ideas that Niram have is right? Like setting very, very clear expectations before the meeting, right? Like pre-reads before the meetings. It is expected that every person is to bring X amount of ideas. I would go even further and like submit this idea to this doc before we come so we can have an accountability. And then more so, if you notice people are not submitting ideas one-on-ones, you can unpack and see like, what's going on? I notice you're not doing this. Are you okay? Blah, 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 all that type of stuff. Also, silent meetings are good because everyone just doesn't communicate the same, right? And also sometimes people need different processing times and respecting learning styles. From my viewpoint, so that's some symptom stuff. Root cause, I think you as a leader, you need to get to the root cause, right? Like, do they want you in this space? Do they not want you? Was the leader before they left, was it beloved? Were they beloved and they're like upset? Are you like the 100th leader in this position? Like, you need to get to some root cause stuff. And I think it's a variety of ways you can do that. You can do that during one-on-ones. You can do that during broad team meetings. I think you can do that through leading through being vulnerable, right? Like sometimes saying the thing as a leader, shout out to Ian Van Zant, gets you a lot of street credit because it's something too like saying, I feel like the energy is off. And I know sometimes in the corporate setting it's weird to be like the energy and the vibe's not getting it. But sometimes you have to say the energy and the vibe, like something's missing. And I need someone to tell me what's going on or like, you know what I'm saying? And maybe you can even collect like anonymous feedback or something. All that to say is a cute corporate way is you need to establish site safety and trust in your team. To me, no one talking, no one engaging, right? Like just very quiet tells me that there's low psychological safety and trust on the team. And you need to get to the root of why that is. And then you need to work consistently on building that up. So that's what I would say. Some ways in which you can build that up in the meantime, I think you as a leader are going to have to take a little bit more control of that meeting, right? So say if you don't want to do the pre-reads or it's not appropriate for whatever's happening, a thing that I like to do as a leader is I bring people in on this conversation and delegating, right? I mean, on the conversation of ideation. Sometimes you naturally can just say like, let's throw the ideas out here. What do people think? Right. But I notice, especially if you got folks who are super competent or like on the vice versa on the sides of the spectrum, right? So sometimes you got people who are extremely competent, know the business, know all the stuff in and out. Then you got some people who's a little bit more novice. And sometimes the folks who think they know it all take over. The novice people don't say nothing, or the novice people have new ideas and the old people be like, well, we did that 10 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it just throws the vibe off. That could be happening too. So what I do is I know this sounds bad. I don't know if I necessarily care about people individual ideas. I care about the collective. So something I would say as a leader is if I'm pondering something, I'll get the juices flowing. I'll say something like, I had an idea to do X, Y, and Z. Niram, could you please add on to the idea I just said on how you would enhance to make that better? Great, Niram, thank you for adding on to that. Nia, can you add on to what Niram idea just said and how you can make that better? Okay, great. Niram and Nia said this is how they would make this idea better and go. Nadifa, could you please say how you would destroy that idea? What are we missing? What is the blind side? What is the thing we have to do it? Oh, great. King of Wakanda over here. Nadifa said, this is how you blow up this idea, and this is the devil's advocate, right, of it. Add more to that, destroy it. Great. Cool. Melissa, can you add a whole counterpoint idea to what we're talking about? So I'm almost assigning roles to what people are doing and making them tap in to like a different part of their brain where sometimes it's not even their idea to hold, but I'm using their skill set of critical thinking. I'm using their skill set of like their prior knowledge, their prior experience to build on the collective. And also it's easier to be like, I don't like that idea because it's kind of nobody idea. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's the collective idea. And by starting conversation like that and ideation like that, one, everyone in that group is seen. So me as a leader, now I know your name. I know what ideas you're bringing forth. I know what you're seeing, right? And also everyone is affirmed in that situation, right? So it's a way to empower people to reciprocate good, energy and, how do you say it? Like increase trust and site safety amongst the group. And if you can kind of begin getting ideas going from there, that's how you go, right? Because to get to innovation, right, where it just sounds like you're trying to do, to get to innovation, you have to have a lot of ideas. To get to ideas, you have to have perspectives. To get to perspectives, you have to have a lot of people, right? Like you have to almost work backwards to say, what do you need to get? And like, that's how you work through that situation, because usually the first idea never worked. You got to get people running and going. And I actually like having people, you can be strategic about who you have play with role too, right? So I often do that sometimes too. When I know I have people who are very firm on a certain point, before they even say what their viewpoint is, I'm having them say something about the opposite of it. Because I want them to flex. I want you to stretch. I don't want you coming here with your same bullshit. I don't want you coming here turning shit down. Tell me how it can work. Give me the yes and. Like that's something also I'll add. I was like, okay, so we know this may be a no. What would be the yes and to this? How do we get to yes? So like those types of prompts as a leader and guiding through the situation, I've noticed have made it helpful. So I hope we give us some tips, but I think it's two things at play. I think you need to get to the root cause, which I think is a lack of site safety and trust for whatever reason. And then the symptom is like lack of engagement. And we gave you some tactical ways in which you can go about engagement, but do not forget it. Like you need, as a leader, you need to be building that site safety. You need to do deep one-on-ones. You need to be asking super thoughtful questions. You need to be keeping track of folks. You need to highlight, right? And I think even for your leadership style in this situation, something that's always helped me is to empower those around me. Right. Like, so it's constantly me bringing my team, other folks forefront, and I'm in the back front. So that's something that helps show them that, like, I'm representative of the broader group and not just for me alone, too. So those are some of my ideas and thoughts. What you think, Niram, about that?
See, Nyambi is a cubicle warrior at heart. She be out there slaying the white folks.
What do you mean out there?
Out there in the Susie ain't gonna participate? I got something for your ass. Susie, ma'am. Oh, you got a strong opinion for this, Susie? I want to know what your opinion against this is.
And that fuck people up sometimes.
I got something for these motherfuckers.
How would you receive that if I did that to you as a...
Oh, Susie a yes man? And Susie going to be a no motherfucker today. I'm tired of these yes man motherfuckers.
How would you feel if I do it in a nice way. I just did it quickly. I do it in an engaging way. And of course me, because my job as a manager is to know my people. I might not know that at work. All I know is what you put in my one-on-one. But you know who I know? Like the back of my hand? My people. So I'm not just saying, Niram, come on in. I'm like, hey, Niram, I know your superpower is blah, blah, blah. Why don't you come on in and apply that to blah, blah, blah. They be like, fuck.
No.
What you mean no? So, I'm already done set the ramp for you. So what you going to be like, no, that's not my superpower. How dare you highlight a skill I'm good at?
Hell yeah.
Like, people are not going to do that. Like, so that is how you get people involved. And also, I'm giving them compliments.
You see how Nyambi be trying to make ideas, try to make people think that it's their idea?
When did I do that? I don't have the idea. I just need y'all to think. Because truthfully, my team's always stronger than me. Always. Always. Like, people are like, oh, Nyambi be killing. No, I don't, honey. I'm one of them kids who had to read and do Cornell notes and study multiple times. You know who good? My team. Them some bad bitches.
I hear you.
You don't like that, Nero?
What?
You think that's manipulative?
Sometimes.
What I just said, do you think that's manipulative? No. Nero is y'all think that's manipulative? That is corporate America.
Corporate America is nothing but manipulation.
Some of it.
All of it.
You think that is you would feel offended if your leader engaged you?
That's not the thing. I'm just saying, my thesis is that corporate America is a manipulative. Period. Full stop.
I mean, I can agree with that because corporate America is based on white supremacy.
Exactly.
So anything about it is going to crumble. That's why as you go up in ranks, you have to figure out how much you're willing to play silly games, win silly prizes, how much you're willing to engage with it. Would you be offended as a individual contributor? Have you ever been in a meeting like that?
Nope. No.
How would you feel if you were in a meeting like that?
I don't know.
How would you approach that?
I have to see because I usually have ideas.
And also that's the thing because it's also because I am this person too. Usually the one who got too many ideas. You're fucking up the swag. Like just all your perspectives coming through. And Susie, who won't say shit, ain't gave her perspective yet. And I'm paying her this money, and I ain't got one perspective from Susie, but I done got them all from Nero.
Because me, I can play both. Sometimes I'll be like, what if blah 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 blah.
Yeah. And as a manager, I'm gonna let y'all know right now, it's frustrating when you be like, "What ideas you got?" Then everybody act like they don't know what day it is. I be want to turn to Black Mama. So y'all just gonna sit here and look.
What do you got?
So y'all ain't see them layoffs, and nobody got a idea.
That can be you next.
God damn, that do piss me off. It's not much that pisses me off as a manager, but if I ask you like, what is your thoughts and ideas, and everybody act like the room goes silent, and ain't nobody telling me why the room was silent. Now I'm getting her corporate bag there. I'm adding notes, and I'm talking about impact and engagement. Don't do it to me twice. It's going to come on your write-up.
Oh.
Come on, close us out.
Well, I hope you enjoy that. Love is ever evolving.
Peace. See y'all next week.